They told you opportunity always whispers before it roars. Right now, it's whispering through silver. While the world watches gold, something historic is happening beneath the surface. The gold to silver ratio, a number that has guided wealth for centuries, is collapsing fast. And when it resets, it doesn't move gently, it explodes. This is the kind of moment that quietly creates millionaires while the crowd is still scrolling. I learned this lesson the hard way watching my uncle during the last major metal cycle. Everyone laughed when he started stacking silver instead of chasing trends. They said it was slow, old-fashioned, boring. But when the ratio snapped back and silver surged, his boring investment paid off his home, his debts, and gave him freedom before 50. That's when I realized wealth isn't built by noise, it's built by positioning early. Every major wealth transfer in history came from understanding ratios, cycles, and patience. When silver is cheap compared to gold, it's like buying land before a city is built around it. Smart investors don't wait for headlines. They read the pressure building underground. Right now, silver is compressed like a spring pulled back for decades, and springs don't release slowly. Think of silver as the bridge between everyday people and extraordinary wealth. Gold is for preservation. Silver is for multiplication. It's used in technology, energy, medicine, and finance. Every electric car, solar panel, smartphone, they all consume silver. Demand is rising while supply is shrinking. That's not speculation. That's math meeting reality. I once met a small business owner who started buying just a few silver ounces every month instead of wasting money on impulse purchases. No stress, no trading, just discipline. Over time, those ounces became stacks. When prices surged, he didn't panic. He leveraged wisely, reinvested, expanded his business, and created multiple income streams. Silver didn't just grow his money, it changed his mindset. Here's the secret most people miss. You don't need perfect timing. You need consistent action. Wealth is built in quiet habits. Buying silver regularly, holding patiently, thinking long-term while others think fast money. This is how cycles reward the disciplined. When the gold to silver ratio resets closer to historic levels, silver doesn't double, it often multiplies. This is where ordinary investors see life-changing gains. This is where debt turns into assets, where stress turns into security, where work becomes choice instead of survival. Start small, but start now. Learn the market, stack steadily, diversify smartly. Protect your future with real assets that have survived every currency collapse in history. Most importantly, shift your mindset from spender to builder. The people who win financially aren't luckier, they're earlier. They recognize moments like this and move with calm confidence. This silver reset isn't just about metals. It's about freedom. It's about control. It's about designing a life where money works for you instead of you working endlessly for money. And years from now, when silver headlines finally scream and everyone rushes in late, you'll smile quietly, knowing you positioned yourself when it was still whispering. If you're ready to build real wealth, take control of your financial future, and turn moments like this into life-changing opportunities, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Because the biggest financial shifts always reward those who act before the crowd does. They told you opportunity always whispers before it roars, and right now it's whispering through silver in a way most people are too distracted to notice. While headlines chase gold and stocks swing wildly, something historic is quietly unfolding in the background. The gold to silver ratio, a signal that has guided wealth for centuries, is collapsing fast, and every time this shift has happened before, silver didn't move slowly, it surged with force. This is the kind of moment that separates those who struggle from those who build lasting freedom. I remember hearing about investors during past cycles who ignored the noise and focused on real assets when everyone else was chasing fast profits. They weren't trying to get rich overnight. They were positioning themselves for the inevitable reset. When the ratio finally snapped back toward historic levels, silver multiplied in value, not because of hype, but because markets always return to balance. Those who understood patience were rewarded in ways most people never experience. Silver has always been the people's metal, the bridge between everyday earners and extraordinary opportunity. It's affordable, powerful, and deeply connected to the real economy. Every smartphone, every solar panel, every electric vehicle relies on silver to function. And as the world becomes more digital and energy hungry, demand keeps rising while supply struggles to keep up. That pressure doesn't disappear, it builds, and when it releases, prices respond dramatically. The smartest investors don't wait for permission from the news. They read the signs, study the cycles, and act while opportunity is still quiet. They buy consistently, hold patiently, and let time do the heavy lifting. This is how wealth is built when others are busy reacting emotionally. Right now, silver is compressed like a spring pulled back for years, and history shows that springs never release gently. This moment isn't about guessing peaks or chasing hype. It's about recognizing a rare window where preparation meets opportunity, where small disciplined actions today can turn into financial freedom tomorrow. Wealth rarely announces itself loudly. It grows quietly in moments most people overlook, and silver is one of those moments unfolding right now. When the gold to silver ratio stretches too far, history shows it always comes back to balance, and when it does, silver accelerates faster than almost any asset. This isn't speculation. It's a cycle that is repeated across generations, rewarding those who positioned themselves early and patiently. There was a time when everyday workers used silver not just as savings, but as protection, something real they could hold when currencies weakened and markets shifted. Those who kept stacking through calm periods found themselves ahead when financial storms arrived. Silver isn't just a metal, it's a strategy, a discipline, and a long-term mindset built on reality rather than hype. As technology expands and clean energy demand surges, silver becomes more essential by the year. It flows through the veins of the modern world, powering industries that aren't slowing down. At the same time, new supply becomes harder and more expensive to mine, creating natural pressure that markets can't ignore forever. The people who build true wealth don't chase trends. They build positions quietly, consistently, and confidently. They understand that small actions repeated over time create massive results, and silver offers one of the clearest paths to that kind of disciplined growth when cycles begin to shift in your favor. Every major financial breakthrough begins with a mindset shift, and silver represents that shift for those ready to think long-term instead of chasing quick wins. When you consistently convert income into real assets, you move from surviving to building, from hoping to planning. Silver teaches patience, discipline, and strategic thinking, the same traits that create successful entrepreneurs and investors across history. As the gold to silver ratio moves back toward balance, those quiet, steady actions gain powerful momentum, turning small decisions into life-changing results for people who had the courage to act before the crowd noticed.